on a Friday takeaway. On the docket today, Lotte Chemical Titan and Rev Asia. But first, let's start with news of more pandemonium in the White House. President Donald Trump has sacked his comms director after just 10 days. It's been one of the most turbulent weeks in Trump's administration, with Anthony Scaramucci, the seventh major official to leave in Trump's first 6 months as president. Still stateside, Q2 US GDP came in at 2.6%, that's slightly lower than consensus expectations of 2.7%, while Q1 GDP of 1.4% was also revised slightly lower from 1.4% to 1.2%. But Thomson Reuters data shows that American corporations are on pace to post 2 straight quarters of double-digit profit growth for the first time since 2011. Sime Darby have unveiled their senior leadership teams ahead of the individual listings by year-end. Sime's president will be Jeffrey Salim Davidson, while Tan Sri Baki Sali is MD of Sime Darby Plantations. MD for Sime Darby Property will be Dato Sri Amrin Abaluddin, formerly of Media Prima. As at 10:30 a.m., the KLCI is up a tad to 1,772 points, 0.3% lower from last Friday's closing. Year-to-date though, the KLCI is up 8% and higher by 11% on a 12-month basis. Next up, some big weekly movers. Lotte Chemical Titan Holding Berhad. They're the local petrochem's unit of Lotte Group, South Korea's number 5 biggest chaebol, and they make the plastics used in shopping bags, food packaging, ropes and fishing nets. Now, they listed last month in what was the biggest IPO in Malaysia since 2012. They won institutional support from PNB, Eastspring Investments, Great Eastern and Maybank Assets. But their shares have plunged this week after a 72% collapse in Q2 net profit. Net profit fell to 113 million ringgit, while revenue was down 11% to 1.78 billion ringgit, and that's thanks to a water interruption in April in Johor, which hit productions. Now, Lotte shares have collapsed this week, dropping 30% from a week ago and are down a staggering 37% from their IPO price of 6.53. Now, I haven't yet seen any fresh revisions to Lotte Chemical, but notably, TA Research was a buy on the stock in early July, calling for a target price of 7 ringgit 41 cent, itself reduced from 9 ringgit and 10 cents previously. Now, Rev Asia Berhad. They're a digital media group who recently sold their digital advertising and social media business to Media Prima for 105 million ringgit. Now, following the sale, Rev this week have announced a special single tier dividend of 44 cents a share, payable in cash to shareholders. Also, recall that Rev recently said they're in talks to buy 2 digital companies to expand in ASEAN. Rev shares really flew this week, limit up yesterday, basically gaining 35% in just 1 week for a complete and really amazing 98% year-to-date gain and up 75% on a 12-month basis. Rev may have sold and cashed out their assets, but it also means that they are now merely a cash company and they need to regularize their operations to remain listed. Now, they got a 12-month deadline to do so the clock is ticking to close out these deals. At a market value of just 135 million ringgit, Rev is a small cap stock and therefore uncovered by any analysts. But at these levels, Rev was last at this high in April.